understand that that this engine is not ever going to be up to where it was brand new. I've never had a 9, of course, but there's things we can do to help that situation. It won't make it perfect, no, and I don't expect perfection. I don't expect to do it. I just expect to be getting at least as good as I was in the car. And it would have been closer to 30. Yeah, closer to 30 miles per gallon in that car. And that's, yeah, before that evap canister issue happened, that's what I was doing. But you know what, I will say this, I've got a neighbor that's got one of these that's really well kept by him this year. And it is getting between 18 to 22 miles per gallon from the factory, and it's got 210,000. But that's because he keeps it up on the main. He doesn't cut corners. Yeah, you have it sometimes. You're a great mechanic. But let's see that knowledge. Yeah, let's see you do it the way the factory tells you to. You need to learn to obey books and obey instructions, technical service bulletins, all of that. My soul. You know what? Trace, I'm going to challenge you. I bet this car is going to last a lot longer than you thought, because I'm going to be taking excellent care of it. Well, no, I'm very picky about my vehicle maintenance. I'm very picky about that. I like to stay on top of it.
Yeah, because it had some OTC benefits left.